All right, guys. So, I saw a video the other day where it was a guy saying, how do you become interesting, right? Whoa. How do you become interesting? How do you become an interesting person? And what they said basically was, interesting people do things that most people don't do. And I am not saying that I am an interesting person. I think that if you look hard enough at anyone, you'll find interesting things about people. But what did I do today? I had a little bit of a experience today, cultural experience, I guess. No. Theological experience, I think, is more the correct term. But long story short, what did I do today? Today, in the morning, woke up tired as shit, man. I don't even know why. I was like super tired this morning. We went to Home Goods where we met up with someone that works there, one of my friends, and her brother, who are Muslims, right? And that's important for later in the story. And, you know, we did some dorm shopping. We got like a rug and shit. We got like a little painting, which is cool for the dorm. Or like a little like art thing. It's chill. It's like $20 from Home Goods. Then we went, we got some not Chipotle. We got some Panera. And then after that, they're like, okay, we gotta go. And her brother, which I guess will remain nameless, I guess, like for respect or whatnot, he wouldn't care. Abdullah, he's like, I gotta go and like pray. And today's Friday, and in Islam, from my understanding, I'm just gonna preface this video is like, I could totally be wrong about stuff, and I apologize for my ignorance. Even though like today was all about, you know, kind of curbing ignorances, so you can't really hate on me that much, right? So anyways, on Friday, it's like their most religious day. It's kind of like Sunday. Like Sunday, it is what Sunday is to Christians. That is what Friday is to Muslims. So yeah, you know, we hit it up. Then like he was like, okay, it was like 12 something, or it was like 11:50. He's like, at 1 o'clock we have prayer at this mosque. And I'm like, I bet. Me and my friend, who was also there, did I say that? My other friend, he is chilling. He's my roommate, because we were like doing dorm shopping, and we got that employee discount for my other friend, who she like works at Home Goods and stuff, so it's like kind of fire. And so me and my other friend are like, you know what? Let's be interesting people. We didn't really say that, but we're like, okay, we've both never been to a mosque. We both grew up Christian. So we're like, okay, bet. Let's go hit up this mosque in an hour. I went home. I'm actually wearing my friend's shirt because we went to his house, and apparently I had to change my shirt for like respect reasons, because I was wearing a Harry Potter shirt. Right. You guys can see here, Harry Potter guy. I am driving. Harry Potter, and it shows like faces, and apparently that's not supposed to like, that's like taboo or something. I don't really know. And also it showed like wizardry and like witchcraft, so it's probably just not the best to wear that. And then my friend also had to switch into long pants for like modesty purposes, I believe, just so that we would be like as respectful as you can. And I think that's just a little like tip, is like, if you're gonna go into like another religion or spiritual like domain, you just obviously, like, I think this is a given, I don't know why I have to say this, but like, you just respect their like customs. Obviously, if you're not doing that, you're kind of a dickhead, I'm not gonna lie. And I mean, low-key, if you're not gonna, I don't know, I would be hard pressed to find someone that wouldn't respect a religion's cultural beliefs that wants to like explore that religion. So that's like a non-issue. Anyways, we get ready, we drive over, we find the mosque, and we are chilling in the mosque. We wait in the parking lot because our friend, who actually goes to the mosque and is a adherent of the Islamic faith, was late. So we were like waiting in the car, and I mean, we were like, obviously I think we were both a little bit nervous, like in this parking lot of this mosque, right? And we're just like sitting here. We feel out of place. Like I didn't see any other Asian people there, and that's not to say that like, I know this for a fact. Islam is not connected to ethnicity. So like, I believe that, I'm not sure, there's definitely a technical term for it, but like a religion like Judaism, it's very hard to become a religious Jew if you are not also Jewish, right? Like that's like, they're like interlinked, right? Them being Jewish and also being an adherent of the Judaism faith, right? And excuse me, Islam, although I think it's like a false narrative that a lot of people who are ignorant people fall victim to, is that they believe that if you're like Arab, right, like you're Middle Eastern, then you are not Islamic, that you are a Muslim, right? And that if you are a Muslim, then you are from the Middle East, right? And now my friends who were kind enough to like invite us into their culture, or it's not culture, it's their spirituality, I believe. I think there is a distinction there that I'm trying to be mindful of. But the kind of like, they are Middle Eastern, but it's like, you know, Islam is like the fastest growing religion in the world. All sorts of different ethnicities follow this faith. And I mean, we saw another friend from school, well, I guess not from school anymore, but someone I know from school, he is Hispanic, and he's like, Loki, text me if I'm wrong, but like, I'm pretty sure like he's like converting, or has converted. Like, yeah, I'm not pretty sure, like he is, but like he wasn't like Middle Eastern, so, you know. Where was I in my story? We were in this parking lot, and obviously, with all that being said, if you know anything about the history of Islam, then you would know that it originated in the Middle East. So there's a big portion of the people that are adherent to the faith are Middle Easterners. Like, if I just didn't see a lot of people that looked like me, which is like true for everywhere around, and that's totally fine. But me and my friend were like a little bit nervous and like whatnot, and we're like, oh, this is like kind of weird, until our friend came up, finally got there because his was late. Then he gets there, and we go into the mosque, and we're a little bit late, and we were walking into the prayer hall. We take our shoes off first of all, and then we walk up to this prayer hall, and we walk in, everyone's sitting down on the floor, and we sit down, and our friend does prayer, which I don't really know. I forgot to ask, but like, I think like he's like, well, obviously like, from my understanding, people who are adherents of the Islamic faith are, have to do like 5 prayers a day. Like, that's like their thing. Not like their thing. It's just like it's like a rule of the religion, you know? You do your 5 prayers. And he like did one of his prayers because like we were going at the time of when you're supposed to do one of his prayers. And we saw that like people came in after us, and like they would walk in, stand up, do their prayers, and then sit down and then listen to the sermon. Or I don't know if it's called a sermon. Maybe it's not called a sermon. Maybe it's called something else. But yeah, it was like a lesson teaching from the Quran, and which is, if you don't know what the Quran is, it's a holy book. It's like the most holy text in Islam, where it's basically the Prophet Muhammad. It's like the written word of God. So that's the belief, is that it's the written word of God. Right. So listen to the teaching, and then after that there's like a group prayer, which me and my friend partook in. I was apparently doing it really wrong. Like, I had my hands in the wrong spot, and I wasn't really like, I don't know, I was not doing it right, which I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm not gonna say I feel guilty about it, because obviously I didn't know anything about it, but it's like, I was like, oh man, I wish I was kind of doing it right, because then I maybe would have had like the full experience, but whatever, it's okay. I was still, obviously being respectful as respectful as I could. And yeah, did the prayer, everyone got up, and then we kind of just chilled with our 2 friends that we knew, me and my friend that aren't Muslims, right? So yeah, that's the end of the story. We just went to a mosque for their Friday prayer, listened to the teachings, and then, which was in English, so I what's it called? Well, there was like recitation, I think it's called. I think it's a special word. I may be wrong about it. It was just reciting from the Quran, and then like teaching about like what it means and stuff. I think that's the vibe I got. It was very short. It wasn't that long, which, as someone who grew up in the Christian faith, I can appreciate that, because them Christian stuff, and like it's like the dude got like a whole slideshow presentation with like 50 slides. It's like, come on, you know. As far as efficiency wise, I like the mosque more. But I'm not here to rate. I'm not here to rate like religious experiences. However, okay, wait. This is where things get interesting, right? Now, obviously, in the moment of being at the mosque, and right before I'm at the mosque, I'm thinking, now this is probably not a good thing, but I was thinking before the mosque, I'm like, this is about to be an experience, right? I'm about to experience something I've never done before, and that I mean, I'd wager that, I'd wager my house, right? I don't even have, I'd wager my life that like vast majority of Americans have never even set foot into a mosque, right? So I knew that this is like I would not say exclusive, because something that I definitely got the vibe of was that the Muslim community was very welcoming and very open. Like we after the I don't know if it's service or prayer. I don't know the terminology. I'm sorry, but after like we prayed and stuff, we talked to the imam. I might be getting that wrong, but he's basically like the leader. Like from what my understanding, it would kind of be like a pastor in a Christian church. So yeah, and we talked to him because our friend knew him and stuff, and knew him for like a really long time, and we just talked with him for a little bit. And the vibe was very welcoming. Like everyone we met, we shook hands. You say assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I'm saying it right. And it's just good vibes, right? Now where was I? That was a sidebar. Now I know, like, before I go into the mosque, like, this is going to be an experience, right? This is something that I'm probably realistically going to talk about on a video, as, you know, it definitely just fits the theme of overthinking Wasian, right? Going to a mosque. I mean, yeah. So, well, I know it's bad to have that mindset of like, oh, I'm doing this for content, which I'm not. It really was for like a personal experience. And nevertheless, when I was in the prayer hall, right, and I was sitting there, and I'll be honest, I mean, when I prayed, I put quotation marks on it because I wasn't actually praying, because I don't know, first of all, I don't have any of the prayers memorized, because from what I understand, there are some prayers that are like recited, and some prayers that are like personal prayers where you can pray for anything. And I mean, I haven't prayed in like any spiritual or religious context in like 9 years, right? So it's been a very long time. So I didn't pray at all. I kind of just, if anything, meditated, or just not even meditated. I was kind of just like doing the motions and just like not thinking, pretty much. But while I was listening, and during some of those moments, I was definitely thinking about what I was going to talk about in this video. And now here's where I'm going to put a pin in what I'm talking about, and I'm going to actually go to Harry Potter, right? Now you remember early in the video, I showed my Harry Potter shirt, and I'm like, yeah, I took this off because of blah blah blah. Now I am a big Harry Potter fan, right? I've read a lot. I've read all of the books. You know, I'm a big Harry Potter fan. Okay, I love Harry Potter. And in Harry Potter, there is this potion. It's called Veritaserum. Okay, it's called Truth Potion, right? why is it called Truth Potion, Malik? I'm glad you asked. It's called Truth Potion because it makes the person that drinks it tell the truth. Now, if you're not as well versed as me in the Wizarding World's judicial system, what is this guy doing? Right? If you're not if you're not as well versed as me, right? You're probably like wondering, you're probably thinking like, man, if there's ever like a trial, I can just make everyone take Veritaserum, and then they will tell us the truth, and then there's no need for trials, right? If that makes sense. However, that's not the case. In the Wizarding World, Veritaserum is very rarely used in the judicial context. Like, you don't get a person on the stand and they take Veritaserum and then they say, did you rob the store? Yes or no? Or did this person do this? And blah, blah, blah. And out of many fan theories, the most prominent one that I've seen as to why they don't make criminals who are under trial, right, take Veritaserum is because telling the truth, there is a very distinct disconnect between what somebody believes is true and what somebody and what is the actual like reality, right? So if we have reality and we have belief, right? A lot of times our belief is in alignment with reality. Like, I believe that the grass is green. Now, I'm not going to be super philosophical here and be like, oh my god, well actually everyone sees a different green, and green is a societal name that we've given to this shade of such and such color. We know without having to like do like mental gymnastics that the grass is green, right? Or the trees are green. That is the reality. That is my belief, right? They are aligned, okay? They match. Now, when we talk about reality and belief in a religious context, that's where, I just kind of glossed over my Harry Potter analogy. Harry Potter. If someone believes something is true, like if they in their mind's eye, they really believe, like 1,000,000,000%, that they saw me robbing a store, right? They could take Veritaserum and say, who robbed the store? And they would say, Malik Allison did rob the store. When in actuality, I didn't rob the store, right? I was nowhere near there. I was in fucking Toucan, Alaska, right? Like, and they're telling the truth. They're telling what they believe, but their belief, even though they're telling the truth of what they believe in, their reality does not align with their belief. So that's why you don't have us using this Veritaserum. So the Veritaserum thing is not super important. I just want to introduce the concept of belief and reality, right? Because sometimes they are aligned and sometimes they're not aligned. And now, when we talk about religion, so what I believe the reality to be is that that Allah does not exist. The Abrahamic God does not exist. I don't believe in Zeus. I don't believe in, I don't believe in Thor or any kind of higher power that I've come across. I don't believe in it. That's my belief. And my belief is that the reality matches my belief, right? That's obviously how that works. Like, the beliefs you have generally will align with what you believe reality is. I mean, come on. It's common sense. So the thing is that if you remember Veritaserum, right? Well, tell the truth, right? Like, you make me drink Veritaserum and say, is there a God, yes or no? I'll say no. You give Veritaserum to some other dude, you give Veritaserum, this truth serum, you give it to my friend, right? he would say, and you say, ask, is there a higher power? Is there a God? And he'll say, yes, Allah Allah is great or whatever. I don't even know. Like, Allah is there. Like, he is he's true. And what I'm getting at, and now I'm not one to say that I have many spiritual and out of body like experiences. That's not really something that happens to me. However, I could feel, maybe feel is the wrong word, but I could sense, and I could feel, I could definitely feel the belief in this prayer hall. Like, it's definitely like a foreign feeling of kind of being in a room where you generally know what everyone in the room believes, right? Like, maybe there's some other people there just visiting for the day, like me and my friend, but in general, I would believe that these people believe in Allah, right? And I guess what I'm getting at is kind of, I believe, right? And I know the reality is that these people believe in Allah, right? So to them, Allah is a real person, or, I mean, I'm not a theologist, but Allah is a higher power, or kind of whatever, right? Okay, whatever is the wrong word. Not whatever as in the sense of I'm like dismissing the religion, just as in it's not that important to the discussion. But, right, Allah is real and is a truth to these people. And for me, he's not, right? To me, Allah is an interesting being, I guess, to like know about, because I mean, I think I'm interested in religion. Why, if I wasn't interested in religion, why would I go to a mosque? What would the point be at that point, you know? But yeah, I mean, it's like, I believe that they believe, right? And I think that I'm really clutching at straws here, or like I'm so close to getting to my point. Bear with me. I think that when you gain this gaining this perspective, right, of like being in this room of a bunch of people that all believe in this thing that I personally don't believe in, right? I could sense it. Like, I could feel their belief, I guess, in like a kind of spiritual way. Like, I could sense it a little bit, okay? And I think that the mere fact, because like I said, you give these people a truth potion, they're gonna tell you that Allah is real. And I think that is enough for me to believe in Allah. And now, wait, okay, whoa, what the fuck did he just say? I thought this dude was an atheist. I believe that he exists for other people, right? I believe that God exists for some people, in the sense that to these people, they are 100% certain in their faith. And they are, and maybe not. I mean, some people struggle with their faith and still believe in stuff and blah, blah, blah. And that's a whole different conversation. However, I know that to these people, there is a real God like this, that acts like this, that believes in this, that does this, right? Like, that is a real thing. And I think that, I don't know, I just think that I gained a little bit more perspective today. I think that's all it is. Today I just gained a little bit more perspective about how, even if you personally don't believe in something, it is still a reality, right? It is a reality that these people have a belief in a God, right? In a higher power. Like, that is a real belief, and that is a real reality. So I don't know. I just think it's interesting. Ending thoughts. objective truth and belief are not always aligned, right? However, that's one point, right? Like that's one point I want to say. And then I think that believing in something to some extent does give it some validity. Like some people, some people do things like pray 5 times a day because they believe in a higher power, in the rules of their religion and whatnot. They are influenced, undoubtedly they are influenced by a higher power. Now, does that higher power objectively exist? I am not at liberty to say that, yes or no. Now, if you ask me, I would say, me personally, like my personal belief is that the higher power does not exist. But you ask a Muslim, they would say, yes, this higher power does exist. So I think that just the belief in the higher power means that the higher power is a being. It is a thing that you have to consider when talking with other people, when understanding another person's perspective or religion, is that to them and to other people, that is a real reality. That is a real thing. Like, that is their belief, and they believe it is the objective truth. That doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean that you have to believe in it, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it's good to have that understanding of that, to some people who have different beliefs than your own, there are higher powers and whatnot. I don't know. I hope I'm making sense. I don't know. Today was a very good day. Got to gain a lot of perspective. I don't even know, bro. I gotta go pick up my dad from the airport, which is kind of ass, but whatever. I don't know. Very cool. Very cool. Gain some perspective. That's all. I think there'd be a lot less hate in the world if there was more of a want to learn, right? I got to meet people that believe in a different belief system than me, and they're just people, just the same as me. Very kind, very nice, all very very welcoming. And obviously I already kind of knew that. I'm not a bot. I don't sit around thinking that everyone hates me because I don't believe in the same thing as them. But I think that for some people, they might have kind of stereotypes of different religions or of different people, and if instead of believing in kind of BS all your whole life just based off of what other people tell you or what stereotypes you know about people, if you went out and actually went out and went and challenged your beliefs and went and met people that don't believe in the same thing as you, I just think that the world would be less hateful. I think because at the end of the day, you'd meet people and realize that you shake someone's hand and you can feel their muscle, you can feel their bones and their tendons, and that they are nothing but also just a man on the earth, right? They're nothing more than there's nothing more to it. We're all just people with different beliefs of the objective reality, and we are all just living life, right? And there's no need to hate other people just because their belief of the objective, or their belief of what reality is, differs from our own. Because if you're arrogant enough to say that you are right, then my friend, you are wrong. Because one, if you're arrogant enough to say that, you're also probably arrogant enough to look down on other people and look down on people for what they believe in, and you're just an idiot if you ever think that. That's not, you should never look down on other people's beliefs. That's pretty stupid, to be honest. But yeah, I just think the world would be a better place if people were more open-minded to actually going to places and having real experiences with people that have different beliefs than them. And yeah, I think that when a lot of people, or when people genuinely believe in stuff, it gives it it makes it a reality, if that makes sense. a kid believes in the Tooth Fairy, a kid believes in Santa Claus, right? Like, it doesn't mean that they don't it doesn't, I'm not saying that the Tooth Fairy is actually real, but to that kid, right? I mean, I think we could all remember when we were kids putting a tooth underneath our pillow and be like, oh my God, the Tooth Fairy gave me $1. And lo and behold, it was kind of just our parents like going along with the bit. But in our heart of hearts, right, we thought that it was the Tooth Fairy. And I think I think, you know, to us it was a reality, but nowadays I look at a kid, I'm like, what, you believe in the fucking Tooth Fairy, bro? You're an idiot. But like, can you really say that? Like, they're not really an idiot, they just believe in something I don't. And maybe the Tooth Fairy example is a little bit extreme, but it's like, I don't know, like the Tooth Fairy is real, it's just not real to you. And God might not be real to me, but it is a real power on other people. So you got to respect that. And I think that's like what's kind of like lost in translation when like atheists and stuff have opinions on like people that believe in God or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. Just, okay, third and final recap. Truth and reality can differ. World would be a better place if you actually went out and had experiences where you challenged your beliefs and realized that people that don't believe in the same thing as you are not out to get you. They're just people living on the earth that have a different belief in what the reality is. And believing in something gives it a place in reality, right? You know? Because it is real. Like God is real, just not real to me. Yep. That's it, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if I got anything wrong about Islam. I apologize. Correct me if I said anything that was very ignorant. But yeah, W little video, W little day, W little side adventure. Now I got some other shit to do. But yep. Peace out, guys.